And I'm always saying that.
And I'm always saying that.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Princess D&Diaries. I'm Sydney.
I'm Max.
I'm realizing that we didn't do a tester before this, but you know what? You can hear me clear. I can hear you clear.
I think...
You can hear my gummy clusters pretty clear.
Title of this episode is Can You Hear My Gummy Clusters?
For context, right before this, I was eating gummy clusters. I said to Max, would you like ASMR? And then I started rubbing them all over my microphone.
It was not good, but not bad. It was just something.
Guys, leave a comment down below if you like Nerds Gummy Clusters rubbed all over the mic ASMR. We must have some fans.
Yeah.
It's like Rule 34, but like for ASMR. It's like somebody's got some ASMR liking for everything.
Like gummy clusters on a microphone.
Like gummy clusters on a microphone. I'm sure if I deep dived into Twitter, there's some like kink account that's like, pay me $5 to listen to me rub Nerds Gummy Clusters all over the mic and tell you you're a bad boy.
Honestly, social experiment. I'll make that account right now and see how many people come in.
Yes. Oh my god, that's how we get our income stream.
Yeah.
Everyone's absolutely. Like, wow, Max must be getting so many AdSense from the podcast and Twitch, but really it's just gummy cluster. Wait, your name could be Gummy Clusters. Nerds Gummy Clusters.
We've cracked it.
Next D&D character idea.
That is actually, honestly, this is a detour from what we've been talking about, but... And, we, totally planned what we were going to talk about, but now that we've said this, I have to bring it up. So I'm re-listening to NADPOD, their first campaign, and I'm at, episode 97 now. So, we're 97 out of 100. So we're, about to finish. And they're talking about making characters for the next campaign. And Emily Axford wants to make a character named Binky Fiasco so bad, and Murph will not let her. And then she's like, okay, what about Binky something else? And he's like, the issue isn't with Fiasco. That can be a normal name. Binky is the problem. And I feel like if I came to a table and was like, hey, so I'm going to be playing Gummy Clusters. I'm a Grave Domain Cleric, Gummy Clusters.
Grave Domain Cleric, Gummy Clusters.
It was the first class that came to my brain, but yeah.
It's very fitting. I would accept that at my table.
Thank you. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else would, but
no.
We had actually, you know what, segueing off of weird names in games, I ran 2 games this week.
Yes.
Back to back, 2 different homebrew Kids on Bikes came back to back. That was hard. That was stressful. That was a stressful Sunday. I was sweating. But our friend Henry, who ended up not being able to come to the game, we did do a session 0, and it was Kids on Bikes set at a summer camp, and it was supposed to be like spooky scary, and then he was like, my character's name is Sinister Keith. He's 30 years old. He's got a black hoodie on and a goatee, and he likes to make potions and teaches the kids how to throw ninja stars. And I'm like, no. I think Nerds Gummy Cluster might beat that, but Sinister Keith is a good, second.
Sinister Keith was something that, as soon as he said it, I was like, this name will never leave my soul. This name is written on my soul. I am so obsessed with the idea of someone just being known as Sinister Keith. And, everyone likes him for the most part, too. So it's who gave him that nickname? Why? I have a lot of questions.
Is it a government name? Is it a nickname?
I just love Sinister Keith.
Yeah, and we also did establish in that session 0 that people will have different kinds of nicknames for him, and so I think somebody called him City K at one point.
Yeah. Oh my god.
My bro City K. I was sad that Henry couldn't join, but it was so interesting because it was a one shot. We ran it in one night, and it started out with it was gonna be 4 players and me. So it was you, Pat, Henry, and then Andy, who's our DM. And so then Henry tells me peace and love to Henry. I don't think he's listening to this. If he is, then sorry, Henry, but
we love you.
Love you so much, Henry. But like, Henry texted me 10 minutes before the game and was like,
crazy.
Yeah, and this wasn't like, oh, I'm just like kind of just like reading a general one shot. Like I planned this out, and in his intro there was supposed to be clues and stuff to find. So then I was like, oh,
damn.
Fuck, guys, I need 15 more minutes to try to like re-scramble everything. But he had like a valid reason. I was like, okay, 10 minutes is a little too soon though, Henry, with so much peace and love. But that happened, and then while we were playing, Andy was having fun. I gave Andy's character like a gay little boyfriend.
Oh my god. We have to talk about the little boyfriends. I legitimately had no idea that was gonna happen. And I was like, I'm rooting for these two so heavy right now.
Yeah. It was Andy's character. His name was Sawyer. He was like this art kid that got in trouble for like vandalizing his like college's property. And so sort of like, not like probation, but like community service. They made him work at the summer camp for the summer. And so
like
it was
Shane in Camp Rock.
Yes.
Shane Gray Camp Rock-esque.
Yes. And so Sawyer's there, like, begrudgingly, and then Pat's character, Herbert, was, like, this... We never, like, established what Herbert's, like, actual age is, but he's, like...
Old.
He's, like, maybe, like... Yeah, he's, like, old. He's, like, in his, like, maybe, like, 40s or 50s or 60s, and he's, like, the camp nurse, but all of his kids have gone to camp there, and so the last... Like, his youngest kid is, like, about to age out, and so he's, like, the oldest camper there right now. He's sort of this, like, Eddie Munson type. And he's just, like, I don't know. He was, like, a pretty nice kid. He's just, like, Dad, you're so embarrassing. But the kid, Otis, I had that he was friends with Sawyer. Because I was also like, oh, because we, like, talked about that at session 0. We were like, okay, what's everyone's connections to each other? What do they think about each other? Just because sometimes it's so awkward with a one-shot where you're like, it's, like, hard to build camaraderie when it's, like, these characters are meeting for the first time. So it's like, let's go in with, like, a semblance of, like, these people would know each other a little bit. It's the last day of camp.
Especially with, like, when you have people who aren't necessarily, like, we're not all playing, like, young camp counselors who would obviously have certain camaraderie. Like, why would
Sinister
my character...
Keith is 30.
Sinister Keith is 30. My character was 22. Herbert was an older man. So what are my feelings to these characters? Going into it was nervous, but then was, like, looking over my notes of all of our, like, character connection stuffs we did, and I was like, oh my god, wait, no. I'm actually so excited because my character really liked Herbert, but Herbert does not like my character, and that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. And I like Sawyer, but Sawyer does not like me, and that'll be interesting. My character liked everyone, and no one liked Jekka.
I love Jekka.
I love Jekka.
Dolly Ann liked Jekka. That's
Dolly
for sure.
Ann really liked Jekka.
Yeah, Dolly Ann was an NPC that I made as, like, I don't want to say, like, I don't know if honeypot's the word, but, like, basically, like, it wasn't, like, bait, but I was sort of like, oh, this kind of seems like the kind of character that Max might be like, oh, I want to try to smooch him. So I'm like, I'll put her in there. But it was the same thing with Otis. I was like, I know that Otis and Sawyer are going to be friends, and there's, like, some sort of, like, flirtatiousness there, but it's like, depending on the player, they can, like, take it either way. But immediately Sawyer was like, I want to roll to see if he's being gay or if this is, like, a friend thing. Yes, I was like, thank you, Andy. He is being gay. And the same thing with Jekka. I was like, all right, Dolly Ann's, like, this popular girl, but she's, like, secretly a little freak, and that freak comes out at camp, and she likes telling, like, spooky stories, and Jekka was like, I'm gonna hold your hand in front of, like, your boyfriend and make out with you.
It was, like, something, I don't remember what it was. I think, was that right after we took a break?
Yes. Okay. Yes.
I went and I gardened, if I may. Pretty heavy in that break. So when I came back, Jekka was like, at one point I was telling them, every time I would talk as Jekka, I had to close my eyes and my palms were face up to the sky. And I was, as if I was being possessed, Jekka was speaking through me. And she went crazy for Dalian. She was like, no,
You're mine.
I'm gonna take her to the edge right here.
I'm gonna fuck your girl.
And I fucked his girl. And convinced everyone he pooped his pants.
Oh my god, yeah!
Yeah.
Jekka was like, yeah, Zeke, you shit your pants.
Ew, Zeke, did you just shit your pants?
I'm like, you know what? Now it's canon, but I want you to describe to everybody Jekka.
Okay, so Jekka, to me, I wanted to make... Honestly, she's a little Luna Lovegood. I would say, like, derived, not based on her, but I realized, like, as I was making her, I wanted her to be, like, fucking insane. And, like, be like...
you succeeded.
And I succeeded.
She
convinces everyone that she was just born and found in the woods, and that she's related to, like... She's related to the owner of the camp, but no one knows how. It's her nephew, cousin, uncle, something.
Yeah.
And she's constantly high. Her full name, with her nickname, is Jekka the Stoned Sloan. And she was just, like, a cool bitch. She had long, curly blonde hair with, like, flowers all in it. She had a tie-dye shirt, overalls covered in paint. She was the art counselor. Took being a camp counselor very fucking serious. Like, she knew all of the names, star signs, blood types, everything of all of the girls in her cabin. Allergies. She, like, she doesn't fuck around, which is why she can still be a camp counselor and be stoned all the time.
I will say, hold the horses. I'm sure that they put so many non-binary kids in Jekka's cabin. It was not all just girls. It was the girls and the theys. And
Jekka gets the girls' gays and there's, like, just some gay boys that are like, I'm trying to be with the divas. And I'm like, come on in. She sleeps in a hammock.
Have you ever seen that TikTok? It's one of my favorites. It's kind of old. It's this camp counselor being like, all the boys are so rowdy, and he's like, if you guys get into bed right now, I'll, like, explain to you guys how, like, sex works or something like that. And then one of, like, the 12-year-old boys just started screaming. He's like, guys, get to bed. It's like, I just feel like that's, like, Jekka.
That's Jekka, yeah.
She's like, I'll explain how boners work, and everyone's like, scatter! Get to fucking bed!
Yeah, no, she's cool as fuck. You can definitely go to her for anything, and she will be, like, so responsible, but she's also, like, high a lot of the time. And so, yeah, she's crazy, but she's free. I loved playing her. I do feel like I got possessed by her.
Yeah.
Like, truly, Jekka, like, took hold of my soul, and Max didn't exist for a few hours.
Yeah, and then came out the hole.
And then I came out the hole.
Poured right out the shitter.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, I'm Empreg with my character right now. I'm
Empreg with my character right now. And also, we have to talk about how fucking scary that game was.
Ha!
That game was horrifying. That was, like, genuinely, I knew it would be scary, but I didn't know how scary it was gonna be until you said that their jaw was unnaturally unhinged and, like, falling down, and then, like, the whites of their eyes. That was, like, and it's doppelgangers too.
Yeah.
So it was like
it was the lifeguard, like, that was looking like this.
It was,
like, imagine
so
your coworker
scary.
Dave, just, like, jaw unhinged, blood dribbling down their maw.
Literally, so creepy. Next day, okay, or maybe next day, I'm recording podcast with Indigo, and our screens are, like, blurry and pixelated, and she goes, that's so scary. It looks like your eyes only have whites, like, your eyes are only white. And I literally go, no, time out, no, I don't like it.
Did you explain to her why?
Yeah, and she was like, that's so creepy. And I was like, I actually have to pretend like that didn't happen, so...
Do you want to know what's so funny is that when I was actually prepping for that game, I haven't had sleep paralysis in so long. But I had mini sleep paralysis one of the nights that I was, like, up prepping. I think it was also because I wasn't sleeping well that week, but I swore to God that I saw shit in my room, but I was just like, there's nothing there. So it was fine, but I saw shit moving.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But, yeah, it was fun. It was, like, the concept was they were at this camp called Camp Carbon Copy, because it used to be owned by a different owner, like, 30 years ago, and then the camp owner took it over, and he was like, I'm just gonna make it the same thing, so, like, that's why he called it Camp Carbon Copy, and then it's the last day of camp, and the counselors are, like, doing their chores, and then as the day goes on, they start seeing, like, fucked up doppelganger versions of, like, themselves and other counselors. Never the kids, though.
Yeah, not the kids.
Yeah, not the kids. And so then, like, as the story progressed, it turns out that the camp owner, Paul Pappy Camper, or Pappy as everyone calls him, the mimic was, or like the doppelganger mimic thing in the woods was not a bad guy. It was just like this monster that Pappy had found, and what Pappy was doing was keeping him in the boathouse. And every time he'd get mad at one of the counselor employees, he'd show like the monster their photo, and then just like beat the living shit out of them to get his anger out. And that was why this thing's like jaw was like so unnaturally like hanging, because it's not that it's a monster, it's because Pappy beat the fucking shit out of it right beforehand.
It was so crazy because we were like investigating Pappy's office, and it was like, we don't think it's him. There's no way. I mean, this is Jekka's cousin, uncle, nephew. So like, there's no way. But then I had mentioned something like, oh yeah, sometimes like Pappy like, you know, can get a little angry, but like he usually like calms down. Not even realizing like what the like the crux of the problem was, which was Pappy having anger issues. That led to my crazy, I don't know, I've had a lot of crazy Nat 20 moments, because here's my thing, is especially after this, it's hard not to feel a bit like Allie Beardsley with just like some crazy between the Nat 20 for Grindr. Like,
it's Stormy's like, Grindr Nat 20.
Like, I don't crit often, but when I do, it's like poetic. Yeah, like I so often am rolling like 3 to 8 on a dice.
Yeah.
But when I roll that Nat 20, it's not for like anything chill. It's like only for crazy shit.
It's literally game altering. And I was so Max rolled. Okay, if anyone's like familiar with Kids on Bikes, like each stat is a different kind of dice. So you're not rolling, it's not like in D&D where it's like perception and like arcana, you're all rolling like a D20 for that. Your brains could be like a D4 or a D6 or a D20 depending on how smart you think your character is. It's the same thing for charm. If they're really charming, you give them a D20. If they are Sinister Keith level charm, then it's a D4.
Jekka had a D20 in charm.
Yeah.
D8, no, I think it was a D8 in brains, and we did so many brains checks. I failed all of them. I don't think I passed a single one.
Well, it was even harder because we started out with 4 PCs, and then Henry couldn't come, and then Andy had to leave towards a third into the game, and so I was like, okay, now it's just Jekka and this 60-year-old man solving the mystery, which is kind of really fucking funny. Just like the stoner girl and like a grown man who's a school nurse, and he's also wearing flip-flops, and we kept Pat kept saying that every time he walked it was squelching. It came out of the
so
Blake.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So good.
That's my dream blunt rotation right there.
No, deadass.
Jekka and Herbert. So, say you're rolling with a D4. If you hit a 4, then it like explodes or like it blows up. So then you get to roll that dice again. So it was like literally the very end of the fucking game. They go into the boathouse. They find the mimic. The mimic explains like what's going on. Pappy is in there. Pappy's got a gun pointed towards Jekka and Herbert, And when I was doing this, I was like, okay, I know that, like, a lot of this is, like, off the dome for the most part, but I should have, like, some sort of semblance of, like, which way things could go for the ending. So I sat up at night writing out the different scenarios, and one of them was, oh, they could talk Pappy out of it. And I'm like, that would be really fucking hard to do that. I don't think that they would be able to. So it's like, I know that that's a possibility. I have, like, kind of an idea of what could happen, but I'm not going to sit here, like, writing out what a monologue that I think that Pappy's going to say. We get to the fucking end, guns pointed at these two. Max is like, Jekka starts to cry. And I was like, all right, roll charm. And I think it was something, like, super high.
It was, I want to say it was, like, a DC 18 or something like that. Like, it was a high roll. Mm-hmm. But I was like, no, she would cry. This is her only family. Her plans are to work at this summer camp the rest of her life with her uncle, cousin, nephew, brother.
Yeah.
And so finding out that this man is, like, a psychopath, I'm like, she just starts to cry. So then I roll, and I roll a nat 20.
With the burger dice that I gave you.
With the burger dice. Because the burgers are due. They're due.
But because Jekka's charm is a D20, when they hit the nat 20, I was like, okay, roll again. Like, just for shits and giggles. Like, you pass at this point, but, like, let's see.
Yeah. I literally roll, and I go, you're never gonna believe. But I got another nat 20.
Yeah.
So then I got to roll again, and then the burger said we are no longer due.
Yeah, the burger said that's enough.
Here's a 5. Here's a 5, take it. Shut up, bitch. And
full forced slap to the face.
Yeah. But a 45?
That was insane.
That's
was
the
insane.
highest I've ever
Especially
run.
For a scenario where I was like, this is not gonna happen. And all of a sudden, it was like the Stormy Tinder thing all over again, where it's like, I felt like Andy. I unfortunately, like, don't have 5 minutes to be like, hold on, let me, like, figure this out. I was like, okay, fine, like, we're just kind of rolling with this. But it did, like, lead to I'm honestly happy that that's how it, like, went. Because I personally, like, I love, like, a good, like, emotional arc. Like, I don't think that everything in, like, TTRPGs needs to be solved with violence. I think sometimes it's more rewarding when you can convince the big bad guy to, like, that they're wrong or to step down or whatever. But Max rolled that, and then I was like, okay, Pappy looks at you and is like, seeing you cry, and all of a sudden he sees, like, even though he's, like, disappointed and, like, how you, like, smoke weed and, like, you're a little, like, lazy sometimes and, like, a little bit of a troublemaker, he, like, looks at you crying, and all of a sudden he remembers the little girl whose picture he has on his desk. And then he breaks down and he drops his gun. I was like, you know what? Maybe writing out all 5 different outcomes, this beats that.
I thought it was so beautiful, too, because then I was like, okay, well, then what would, like, Jekka do in the situation? She's not gonna excuse his actions because he's been fucking beating something up. Having it look like other counselors, including her, and beating it with a fucking bat. Like, that's unexcusable. But she does love this camp, so she said, before we call the cops and have you arrested, you're gonna transfer the camp over to me and Herbert and put it in our names. We're gonna run this summer camp.
A 21-year-old and a 60-year-old
a 21
that are now best friends.
We're best friends.
They've solved this mystery together.
Yeah. Call us the mystery gang, because we've solved the case. And we now own a summer camp together. Because he will also, all of his kids are graduating from the camp, and so I felt like it was kind of perfect, in which it was a way for him to continue coming to camp, because I feel like he loved it a lot. So I was like, come on in here, Herbert.
Come on in, Herbert.
Get on in here.
Yeah, I'm sad that Herbert's son Otis and Andy's character Sawyer didn't end up getting to make out and kiss, but I did tell Andy.
No, they did.
They in our
in my
hearts
head
and
they
souls.
did.
In my head,
Yeah.
they were smooching. I told Andy, I was like, I'll cook something else up. Because one of the reasons why we were playing was because, one, it was Andy's computer was broken, so Andy couldn't run anything. Andy's computer's fixed now. However, I was like, Andy, you haven't, like, played in, like, X amount of years, you've mentioned. Like, why don't I just, like, run something just so you can, like, play? And Andy was, like, fucking killing me, and I was so sad when they had to step away, which was, like, for,
God.
like, a valid reason, like, something that happened, but I was like, fuck. I was like, now I'm invested in Otis and Sawyer. Maybe I'm just gonna, like, DM Andy and be like, Andy, do you want to just, just, like, 2-on-2, or, like, 1-on-1?
Yeah. No, I did love playing with Andy as a player, because, Andy's only ever DM'd for me, and so Andy was so great.
Yeah, I was, like, also hoping, because it's, like, I feel like you and me are so chaotic in the games that we play, and so that I was like, okay, I hope this gives, like, Andy the opportunity to do the craziest fucking shit, because I think the last time we played was, I think it was the Cosmic Convergence.
The podcast?
Yes! Oh my god. Last time
did we talk about that on here?
I don't know if we did. I'll, like, debrief it real quick, but it was, like... we came up with a plan to try to, like, get information out of this lady by inviting her on a podcast, and then my character was trying to, like, sedate the guy that was with her as, like, her bodyguard. So early, like, at the beginning of that session, Max was like, my character Juno, like, rips, like, because everybody was in the bathroom in the morning.
Morning meetup in the bathroom.
Yes, there was, like, 4 people in the bathroom and a robot, and Juno was like, I ripped the nastiest, wettest fart in the bathroom. So then my character, like, this is, like, 2 hours later, my character takes the bodyguard into the bathroom and is like, I want to light a candle, and I want the fart fumes to, like, ignite, because my character can control fire because she's a fire genasi, and I'm like, and then I want to use it to, like, blind him, and then I want to try to take him down. And Andy was like, you have to roll to see if the fart is still potent in the room this much longer in the day. And I succeeded, so it worked. But I'm like, you know what, if I do shit like that, then I think that Andy has more, like, so much leeway to be able to be like, I'm gonna go fucking cuckoo bananas during Sydney's game.
Truly, like, Andy deserves to say the most out-of-pocket crazy shit, and I think we need to give him more opportunities for that, because I still feel bad about the Nat 20 on Grindr. Honestly, there's been so many things that just, like, in both games that we play with Andy that have been just so insane that I feel like I need to apologize and
repent,
also repent for our sins.
Yeah, I feel like the way that we repent is DMing for Andy so that Andy can in turn do crazy stuff to us. There was something that, like, you said during the game. I don't know if it was during the Monday or the Tuesday game, but I just remember being like, okay, I want you to oh no, it wasn't you. It was Pat. Was like, as what, because I told everybody, I was like, you can have 2 big items and 3 small items.
Oh my god.
Yes. And I asked everybody, I was like, hey, just, like, send me the items beforehand, and, like, nobody did, and I was like, that's fine. I
totally
trust
forgot about
everybody.
that. That's on me, my bad.
No, it's so fine. But I was like, yeah, like, but I also didn't, like, follow up. I was like, I trust everybody. It's fine. Oh, but then Pat was like, oh, as one of my small items, I take out a dodgeball. And I go, Pat, I need you to explain to me what your 2 big items are.
Yeah.
And how a dodgeball would be a small item. And I was like, you know what? He goes, well, he's like, my 2 big items were, like an almanac or something, and then, like, a first aid kit. And I was like, okay, you know what? For the sake of it just being really funny that you just took out a fucking dodgeball, a 60-year-old, like, fucking camp nurse is carrying around a dodgeball in his backpack, I'll let it slide, but I just need you to know that a dodgeball would not be considered a small item.
So funny. Because when I was making my backpack for both of my characters, for both of the Kids on Bikes games, I live in constant fear of metagaming, and so I'm constantly like, well, why would I have that? Because do I only want that for the game, or would my character actually have that? So my weapon in the one shot was a bong. I never got to use it, but
Oh,
I
Baby
did.
Jekka.
Baby Jekka was the name of the bong because every 21-year-old names their bong. And that was my weapon. And then in the normal game, I don't have a weapon. Actually, now I do. Now Fork has a baseball bat, I think.
Yeah.
But in his backpack, he has binding tape, which I was like, because I play a trans guy. I'm like, that also could work for like so many other things.
Yeah.
And
To make a
book called
dodgeball.
to make a dodgeball. He's got a book called Frogs and Flora and Fauna, Oh My, by Maggie Eldarian, who is the name. That's the name of my first ever D&D character, and so that book came in handy in our last game, which was very exciting.
Yeah, because the zombie.
Yeah, the zombie. Yeah, we got to talk about our normal game too.
Oh, yeah. So it's like the kids are on the scavenger hunt. They go into this mausoleum. There was a little lady zombie there, but it was also, the mausoleum was like full of like these little glow mushrooms.
And this is not the one shot. This is the normal, which is Sydney's like world that she's created. We haven't played this game since March.
Yeah, it's been months.
Yeah, so it was really fun to be back.
Yeah, I was out at sea, and then also just like nobody's schedules aligned, and then everybody, like, there was like 2 hours on Monday that everybody was like aligning, and then it was like only like Indigo that I had left to see like her availability, and I had to Instagram DM her. I was like, Indigo, please tell me that you're available this time. She's like, yeah, for like 2 hours, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, we ball.
We'll
but we got a pretty big chunk done. Now we're like halfway through,
which is crazy, and I don't want it to be over. So
yeah, I know that like Luna said that if everyone wanted to keep playing them, like we should, which I would love. That was kind of like the goal. I was hoping like to get everybody invested, and then we like start like an actual campaign. But also it's like if only a few of you guys are like, oh, I want to keep going, then also I feel like I could like make it in a way where we could maybe like invite like new people. Yeah. And not like have to restart.
Transfer students. It's really helpful when you're playing in a school setting or like school age setting, because you can really just be like, they just transferred in from somewhere else. Yeah. And it's an easy way to bring people in.
Yeah, I feel like that's such like a supernatural teen show thing.
Yeah.
Where they're like, at like the first episode of the new season, where's so-and-so? Oh yeah, they left. But now there's this new hot girl in town.
Yeah.
All the boys are obsessed with her. Like, which like stuff like that. So, but they went to the crypt. They met the zombie woman who can't remember her name. So maybe you guys go back and you find her name eventually. But
yeah, because her name was crossed out. I did think that was interesting. I was like, sometimes I get a little too into a bit, and then I forget that like, okay, maybe like I need to give people my actual name. Well, because, here's the thing, is I didn't expect us to love her as much as we did. She was really creepy looking. But at the end, it was like, we ended up like really loving her, and we're like, we'll be back to visit. And then I was like, because when we first introduced ourselves, I gave Indigo's character's name Ophelia. And then Ophelia said spoon when my character's name is Fork. And then I think Dodger gave her name. And then
Ezra said his name was Ladle.
Yeah, which is my character's last name.
Dodger, who is like known around town for being like the bad kid, was the only one that gave her real name. She was the only one that was truthful. But also, it's like I kind of assumed that you guys would do that. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, I'm like, especially Max and Indigo, I'm like, oh, they like the Fae, so even though it was like a zombie woman, I'm like, oh, they probably will be like, oh, we can't give her name out or something like that.
Oh, it wasn't even like that. It was truly like, I'm just gonna be a goof and like give the wrong name. But then at the end, I was like, we'll come back. And then I'm like, well, if we come back, she's always gonna know us by the wrong names. And I was like, I do think that my character would love to goof, but it has a lot of guilt. And would just be like, hey, I gotta come clean. Hey, listen, I feel really bad. I gotta come clean. That's not my name. Especially because she ended up using the name Ophelia. Really liking that name and using it. And then thanked me for using it. And I was like, that's not who I am. I can't even pretend. I'm so sorry. But it was really fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, she is now going by the name Ophelia, but yeah, her name was scratched out on the mausoleum. But you guys do know that she had a little locket with her, and the initials were O-N, so, which is one of the reasons why she liked Ophelia so much, because she's like, oh, I've had this necklace that says O on it for so long. But she gave it to you, because she thought your name was Ophelia, so she was like, oh, you can have this.
Yeah. And then we got almost fucking ran over.
Oh, that too, but before we talk about the road chase, she also, Fork asked if he could live there when he dies.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, yeah, there's, like, actually an empty coffin here, because my husband was supposed to live here with me, but, like, I guess, like, they never put him down here. Like, I don't know what happened, so.
I also do want to follow up with that. So.
You guys will have to beat the game, and then we'll do a campaign.
Okay.
So. There's, like, a couple of things that I'm just, like, breadcrumbing things in for, like, the bigger thing, so.
Yeah. Which I love. I love little clue drops, and then later on it's like, oh my god, so when that happened, it was because of this, and then this, and this.
Yeah. Oh, before we talk about the road chase again, wait, going back to the Monday game, I totally forgot. I don't know if anybody picked up on it, but because there was this point where Dolly Ann, who was the popular girl that Jekka made out with, in her story she talks about, like, oh, Pappy used to be a counselor before he was a camper, or, like, before he was the camp director, and there was, like, an incident where the old camp director walked into the cabin that Pappy was, like, the counselor of, and the camp director saw his own doppelganger staring at the children. And I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but the reason why the doppelganger was doing that was because they found, like, letters in the cabin later on. The old campers were like, oh, Pappy, like, kind of, like, scares us sometimes. It was because the doppelganger was staring at them while they were sleeping, because the doppelganger knew that Pappy was fucking crazy and was afraid he was gonna, like, beat the kids or something, so that's why the doppelganger was in there.
Looking out over the kids. Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, because I remember finding the letters, but it was just like, what is the connection? Because the cabin that Pappy was in was also Jekka's cabin. So it was just, I don't know, that was so crazy. So cool.
We kind of flew by that bit, but I remember we ended, I was like, oh shit, like, I never got to, like, explain that part, but that was the reason.
Damn.
Oh, but the road chase, so talk about the road chase.
It was so funny because, like, we're all on our respective either bikes or scooters. Fork is on a skateboard named Seabiscuit and flying down the freeway, the highway, the road, street, whatever.
The road, like the back roads, yeah. The road.
And the, like, bullies, kind of. Like, the older kids who are, like, intimidating to us drove up behind us. And we were like, surely he's not gonna, like, actually run us over. And then it was revealed he's crazy enough to actually run us over. And I was like, as little tiny Fork, he would be like, what the fuck? What do you mean he's gonna run us over with a car? What are the cops doing? Because Fork moved, like, grew up in the town for, like, a little bit, moved away, and then recently moved back. So he's not, like, quite used to, like, the dynamics of the town. So he was like, what the fuck do you mean that he was gonna hit us with his car and run us over for a fucking scavenger hunt? Like, he was tweaking, which, like,
the stakes are high.
It's crazy. I didn't realize the stakes were this high. I think it's starting to hit, like, all of the characters, because when we asked new Ophelia, do you have any advice? Because I guess she was a part of the original games.
She never took part, but she was, like, alive when
alive for them.
Yeah, because she's like in colonial garb, sort of. So, like, basically, like, she told everyone, like, I was around when Normal first became a town.
Yeah.
And so when they first started doing this, then she, like, knew of it, but she never did it.
Okay. Well, we asked, like, do you have any advice? And she goes, don't do them. And we were like, And my character was only really, like, in the games to make friends. And he feels as if he's made the friends and is like, well, I would be okay backing out of this now. But I know that there are other characters with ties to the game. And now, as we're realizing monsters exist in this world and Fork and his prophetic visions, I think we got to keep going with them.
I did think it was nice, though, that Fork did, like, come out and tell everybody about his visions. Because I was like, oh, I don't know if that'll, like, ever be something that, like, Fork tells them. But it, like, came out so naturally.
I was waiting for a moment that felt right. That wasn't just, like, I have a really fun piece of information that I want to share with you guys about my character. Because, like, that's what I want to do, is I just want to dive it down. Like, hey, guys, so by the way, Fork also gets prophetic visions. It's, like, so cool. But I was like, no, it needs to come out. And he's also... I think he picked Ezra to be in the crew because of the vision, but now is like...
Do you want to explain what the vision was? I don't know if we told the masses.
I feel like, I mean, we probably did in March.
Like 5 months ago?
Just 5 months. Essentially, Fork had a vision of someone who looks like Ezra, has Ezra's jersey or baseball jacket on with his last name on at the back, mauled on the floor, typical, and so had that vision, then was like, okay, we need to get him on our crew for this, mostly so I can do some reconnaissance of what's going on with this guy. And so I think at first wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to flat out tell this guy. But it was like, we've gone through now 2, like, not life or death, because I guess the catacomb, like, wasn't life or death, but, like, or the crypt. But, like, scary enough that it's like, okay, at this point we're all friends. I probably should tell you about this vision I have of you mauled. Because things are starting to seem real. No longer is that, like, just a weird dream I had, but, like, that could be a real life thing. Is that from the future? Probably. Maybe stay inside. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. I also am intrigued to know why Fork gets these dreams.
I think that might be... I'll be honest, I think that might be something that's, like, happens in the bigger game if we do it.
Yeah.
If we don't do a bigger game, then I will tell you. I promise.
Okay.
But, or maybe we could do... it could go either way. I don't know. I kind of have, like, an idea of, like, elongating the mystery of that, and I think it'll be really satisfying if we did a longer thing, but also I'm like, if everybody's like, I don't want to keep playing, then... I do know that you and Luna kind of do, though, but I just, like, don't know what, like, where Brian and Indigo's head is at, so... But, I don't know, they seem to be having fun, too. Oh my god, Brian put... the fucking funniest, like,
oh my god,
soundboard stuff in. Fucking
so good.
Me.
Honestly, like, we are such lovers of a soundboard. We were literally, before we went live, we were talking about how we really want a soundboard for the podcast. We fucking love a soundboard.
If there's one thing about me, is I will be on Discord calls using the air horn sound effect. Like,
literally.
If you ever catch me on a Discord call not utilizing that, know that it's not me. It's the doppelganger.
Yeah. It's a doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's, like, the thing that you're, like, most afraid of? Oh, it's, like, needles, right? Or is it something else?
I'm, like, suddenly scared. Why are you asking?
No, I'm just
out of nowhere. What's the thing you're most afraid of?
No, I would never, like, use that against you. I was just, like, genuinely curious, because I remember I asked Brian that one time when we were, like, on a road trip, and it was, like, pitch black, and we were in, I think, Arizona, and I was like, what's your, like, biggest fear? And he goes, skinwalkers, and I was like, oh shit, like, me too. I'm like, I fucking, like, they creep me the fuck out. So we started, like, talking about them for a while, and then I saw that we were, like, in Native American territory, and I was like, oh, actually, you know what, we're in Native American territory, I wonder what, like, tribe the skinwalker is native to, and lo and fucking behold, it was, like,
no.
The area that we were in, we need to get to Las Vegas right now. We need to leave.
That's horrifying.
It was
No,
scary.
I would say needles or June bugs, the, like, big green ones that fly around blind.
Oh.
I've had a lot of run-ins with those. I'm pretty sure they are attracted to smell, and I don't know if it's, like, whatever perfume or, like, just the way I naturally smell, but I've had, like, an obscene amount on me, in my hair, in my food, around me, they're very attracted to me. Which, like, I mean, like, can kisses. I blame them? But, like, also it's so horrifying. So I would say those are, like, my 2 big ones. But, like, it's to the point where it's, like, I can't even talk about them. The other day I was talking with my boss about them, and I physically gagged while driving.
Ew. All right, well,
I like, just got so grossed out, yeah.
In the game. I was just curious, like, what your limitations are. Sorry, that also sounds so threatening.
It was so threatening. I was like,
I just think it's, like, interesting. I like when people talk about, like, what their biggest fear is. Because also, like, it always, like, comes with a story. Like, I don't... Yeah. When I ask someone a question, I'm like, I don't want, like, a one-word answer. I want you to be like, I am afraid of, you know, like, squishmallows because, like, someone beat me with them once, you know?
It was so funny. Was it last week? Maybe the week before, we were playing Stardew Valley together, and you asked me a question about, like, what is your favorite game? And I go, oh, it's hard. Like, can I pick 2? And you go, Max, I would love to hear anything you want to share. I didn't ask you because I wanted a one-word answer. I asked you because I'm interested to know what your favorite games are. And I was like, huh. Okay, wait a minute. That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm asking you a question because I want to hear you speak, and I want to hear you tell me about yourself because we're friends. You don't have to limit it to 1.
I'm, like, worried about a word count, and I'm like, I can just, like speak.
Yeah, sometimes you could just, like, talk when you're friends with somebody. Oh, speaking of talking when you're friends with somebody... we got, like, you got some changes to Buds and Blades coming up, don't you?
Yeah, so I have kind of hit a rut in my DMing, Arf. Like, Lifetime? What the fuck was that?
You said a rut, and I, like, thought of, like, alpha omegas and, like, dogs.
Of course. But I just... The idea of DMing feels so scary to me. Even though I've done it for a long time for my friends, it just feels horrifying. And so in Buds and Blades, we had started the Malady of Minar, which was like a newer, like 3 to 5 session, like campaign. And it was really fun. I have hit this wall of being scared to run the next session. I've ran 1. And so I'm calling in backup.
Starting out strong.
Did 1. Haven't posted 1 since. I think it literally posted in May. Haven't posted 1 since. So I'm calling in for backup. And we're getting suds over on Buds and Blades.
Yes, yeah. I will be there. We talked about either, like, giving you a break and then I can do something. Because I was also, like, so afraid of GMing. And then I did, like, the 2 days in a row. And I was like, oh, okay, this went a lot better than I thought it would. Maybe I actually really like GMing. So either I might do something. We talked about, like, a Kids on Brooms thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe Max will run something. Or maybe Indigo, who does not really know how to play, maybe we make her run something.
Well, Indigo ran something. I should talk about this. So I've talked about this on the Secret Garden Society and the stream, so I won't get into too much detail of it on here. But Indigo ran a Dread game for my birthday, and it was Lord of the Rings meets Olive Garden themed. And so it was the golden tortellini that needed to be taken to Mount Boom. And it was really fun. Dread is the one with the Jenga blocks. I will be running a game for us when we're in Vegas.
Yippee! Are you gonna fly with your Jenga blocks?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I guess so. I'm like, I can't bring my makeup bag. I have Jenga in here. Like,
is there like
I could buy one.
Maybe. I don't know. TSA be like, you can't bring these
Jenga blocks in,
yeah. TSA is like, you can't bring these fucking Jenga blocks. It's like when Brian tried to bring his mom on the fucking flight.
Yeah.
And then, like, TSA, like, was, like, sifting through his mom's ashes. I'm sure that they'll sift through your Jenga blocks.
Yeah. Or if anything, they were, like, $10 at Target. So, like, I can just buy a set and then leave it there, take it to a Goodwill on the way to the airport or something.
We just, leave it at a bar.
Yeah.
Wait, let's take it when we go to the club, I think we should take the Jenga tower.
Perfect.
Yeah. And that's how we get bitches.
That's the way to go. But yeah, so I'll probably run a game of Dread for us while we're in Vegas. But yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to try to run a game because I also have a home game with Indigo and then our other friend that we have not done in a hot minute. And so I'm thinking maybe I'll run that game and then that will get me in the GM mindset again to then run and finish the Malady of Minar. Maybe try to bring you into it. And then we can do Kids on Brooms. Or maybe we do Kids on Brooms and then Malady of Minar. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. It just feels... Doing DM prep is so overwhelming to me. It's so much. And it feels really daunting. And so I feel like I just need to get into it. And then once I'm in it, I don't think I'm gonna realize that it's not as stressful as I thought it was. But right now it feels like I'm literally looking up at like a giant mountain and that I have to climb. And I don't think it's that.
Yeah.
I end up improving most of my games anyways. So.
Yeah. I don't know, like, what'll happen when we, like, start, like, a bigger campaign, because, like, with a one-shot, I think, like, you were the one that said this, it makes a little bit more sense to, like, railroad a one-shot and, like, have things go a specific way, because it's, like, you're only playing for a certain amount of time, and you're trying to get all that story out. So it's, like, the only things I've ran have been one-shot so far. I have, like, a lot of things just, like, planned out or, like, written out, but when it's, like, an actual campaign, like, that's gonna be so different, so I'm like, fuck, I can't just rely on my little cue cards that I've write out beforehand.
Yeah, it's like, it's a mix of like, it's almost easier unless there's like, because what I run for my friends is a very loose campaign because we play so often. Like, is often a word?
I feel like it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it as one. It's like sporadic. We play sporadically. And so I'm like, I don't need to have like, there is this big threat and they are chasing after that threat. It's like, we're going to be in this area today, and this is the adventure you're going to go on. And then, because I think I made it that they're on their, like, what is it called? When you go on a break in between college or high school and college.
A gap year.
A gap year. They're on their gap year traveling. So it, like, makes sense that they're going to different places and then seeing things there. Then they're like, okay, we got to do this problem right here. And then we wrap it up, and then I can go literally anywhere. It's very sandbox, which puts less stress on me to have like a plot, because that's my fear. I don't know how to run a good plot. I don't know how to make a bad guy. I don't know how to make his goons. All of that jazz I really struggle with. But plot me in a random location, I'll set up a good encounter.
See, I think that's like also like my worry. It's like I want like a perfect plot. I want like people to like be invested and like be interested. Did you want to talk about those new classes?
Oh, yeah, guys. So there are some new classes that they're playtesting from Unearthed Arcana, which I don't know much about Unearthed Arcana. I probably should do, maybe next podcast, I'll do like a deep dive of like some of their stuff, because I know that they're not Wizards of the Coast like material. It's like off. The words are escaping me. Essentially, they're like a separate group, and then they create material, and Wizards of the Coast will team up with them to bring it into the game. And so they just came out with 4 subclasses, and these are focused on themes of survival and corruption, apocalyptic themes.
Oh, interesting.
Which, yeah, I think is very interesting. So we're gonna just kind of like run through them a little bit and talk about them. So we have Circle of Preservation Druids. I don't ever play Druid. I think it's a very confusing class. Literally fucking salute the troops who do play Druids, because I think it's a very cool class. That ain't us. This is a subclass that focuses on conservation, protection, and restoration. Many iconic fantasy stories center on hope, on people who fight to protect the good in the world. This leans heavily into these kinds of stories. They are really adept at healing and protecting allies. It introduces a new way to expend uses of Wild Shape, which creates an area of protected land that can buff allies, which I think is so cool. So you can essentially use one of your Wild Shape charges to make a protected healing area that anytime your allies go into, they can get healed.
Ooh,
which I think is really sick. There's also a new bunch of healing, restorative, and protective spells. So I think that's really cool. I don't think it's one that I will play. I don't ever play. I'm not a healer. I like to play, I don't know, a wizard or a big hitter. So I don't know if it's one I will play, but I do think it would be interesting to be in a party with someone who is playing a Circle of Preservation Druid. Then we have Gladiator, which I kind of thought we already had a Gladiator subclass, but maybe I'm thinking of Champion.
Oh, maybe.
So essentially, they say that they took a lot of inspiration from video games, especially classic fighting games. The thrill of finishing a move or a perfectly timed counter is so iconic, and we wanted this subclass to deliver on that fantasy, which I do think is really cool. It's also very interesting that this is a charisma based as their secondary ability. So for fighters, I feel like it's usually like strength and con, strength and like whatever. This is strength and charisma, which is pretty not common in the fighter in the fighter class. They are meant to be a performer as well as a martial combatant. It tends to be brutal yet tactically compelling. Its core feature, brutality, hinges on an additional weapon mastery property as a vehicle for different cool effects when you hit with an attack roll. So essentially you get more weapon mastery properties, which I don't typically use very often. I guess kind of when I play Courtney, she's multi-class fighter. Multi-class farter.
Farter.
Actually, that's not Courtney. Juno, yes, but Courtney's never farted in her life. But yeah, I think that one's interesting just because it's a charisma-based fighter class, which I don't think is very common. So, but I don't think that's one I would see myself using ever. Then we have Defiled Sorcery, which is a sorcerer subclass. It's all about siphoning life energy from yourself and the world around you to fuel your magic. There's a lot of different ways that you can represent life energy as a game mechanic, and we wanted to use the subclass as an opportunity to explore alternate uses and different approaches. So essentially you use your hit dice to fuel your power. So you can expend your own hit die to increase the damage of spells. You can even attempt to drain the life of other creatures using that creature's hit dice in place of your own.
That's pretty
to mitigate
hot.
No, isn't that like really sick?
That's pretty sexy.
So to help mitigate the potential loss of healing capability with this sorcerer expending hit dice to power spells rather than to heal, we gave the sorcerer some fun defensive and battlefield control abilities as well. So because you won't get to heal up on a short rest if you expend your hit dice, they give you more power essentially on the battlefield to like mitigate that.
Ooh.
Another one, sorcerers. Oh my god. There's a reason I don't play sorcerers, and it's because I can't say the word. But also that class scares me. I know you play.
Why does it scare you?
Something about when there's points that I got to keep track of. So between that, between monks with key dice. I don't know, for some reason spells make more sense because it's like I use a spell, I take a spell slot. But like with key points, it's like you can use a key point to push another thing, but then something about it is just confusing. Mm-hmm. I can only
Maybe
do it on Baldur's
aspect.
Gate. It might be. I just don't know how to read.
Me when I have to read my character sheet.
Literally. No, that's actually so true. Maybe you know what I need to do is I need to do a solo TTRPG where I play all the classes I'm afraid to play just by myself. So I can just get used to playing like sorcerer, warlock, monk. Those are like my scary, and druid. Those are my scary ones. Everything else I can play, no problem.
Avoid druid. That one's
Druid's
too hard.
Scary. Like
it's
props.
Scary.
Watching, because Emily Axford in the first campaign, she plays a druid, and she plays a Circle of Spores druid, Pawpaw. She fucking druids are so powerful. I mean, once you hit once you get like a 6th level spell, you can genuinely become Moses, like parting the sea.
And it's like Moses.
In one of the things, one of the characters falls off a boat and she goes, okay, I'm going to cast a 6th level control water and part the sea.
Oh my god.
The coolest shit. Or you're on a ship and it's falling, boom, control wind and you're fine. you just become a god. And so that's almost like too much power for me. I don't need all that power. But okay, we get to our last one, which is another class I'm afraid of, which is Warlock. This is Sorcerer King Patron. Yeah, which is interesting because
those are three words that you don't like, that you're afraid of.
No, literally, I'm like, ooh, I'm scared.
You're like, I don't want a patron. I don't want to play a warlock.
Yeah, you'll never catch me playing a warlock or a cleric because I don't need someone in charge telling me what to do. I don't need that. But I do think this one is interesting. Warlocks who desire to command the battlefield and intimidate their enemies will find themselves right at home with the Sorcerer King Patron subclass. For this subclass, we wanted to explore what it would be like to draw eldritch power from a tyrannical figure and leaned heavily into aspects of control and fear. This provides the Warlock with a handful of spells that are always prepared. There are some strong damage-dealing spells on the subclasses list, but there are also several tactical spells, allowing the Warlock to cleverly manipulate the battlefield for their benefit. As you might expect, the werewolf.
What is happening?
My brain is fried. Okay.
Running has messed up your brain.
Scrambled my brain. Whew, okay. And as you might expect, this Warlock interacts a bunch with the Frightened condition. Between spells and subclass features, this Warlock has a myriad ways of terrifying a foe, and at higher levels, frightened creatures automatically fail saving throws against this Warlock's magical commands. I think that's really cool, because not many, I think besides halflings have advantage or immunity against being frightened, but being frightened as a player sucks, because you're like, all I can fucking do is run. My turn's gone. I'm fucked.
Yeah.
So to have a class that is specifically devoted to that, and then when you're higher level, they automatically fail any saving throw you throw at them, I feel like is like OP as fuck.
Yeah.
So
Octagon pussy.
What?
OP. Octagon pussy. Sorry, I was yes-anding you, Max, and you're shooting.
No, you're right, my bad. I just was, I guess, kind of confused.
Well, stop
That's
that.
on
Grow
me.
up. Grow the fuck up.
No, you're right. You're right.
Get it together.
Yeah. But, yeah, so those are the new ones. They're doing, I guess yesterday was the last day to give feedback for them. Yeah, so I think I do want to start keeping an eye on Unearthed Arcana playtests, because I do think it would be fun to maybe just do a one-shot. My goal, I really want to do a level 20 game that is like the arena from Fantasy High Junior Year.
Oh my god, yeah.
That is
that'd be so cool.
That is my dream game. Because I love combat. Combat is like, I'm like barking. I'm gnawing on a bone for combat.
I'm on all fours jumping up and down.
Yeah. I need to be level 20, hitting with big hits, big spells, big damage, big monsters. Big cock, big boobs.
Which one of those would you want to play, those classes?
You give me 3.
Not druid.
Not druid. I'm not playing a druid. I'm not playing a sorcerer. I'm not playing a warlock. So I guess I'm going gladiator fighter. But honestly, I do think I would maybe play it if someone was like, I need this class in a game, I'd go, okay. Yeah. Like if they were like, oh, I've got like a plot line and we need a gladiator fighter, I'd go, okay, I'll do it. Because it is charisma based, and I like playing a fighter. Courtney is multi-classed wizard fighter. So I like a fighter. It's charisma based. I think it could be fun if I made like a really like showy hotshot man. Very Lightning McQueen-esque, I think, is how I would play it.
Sure.
Like beginning of Cars Lightning McQueen, or like Chick Hicks,
Like who?
Chick Hicks, the green car with the mustache.
Max, I don't know the government names of all of the Cars side characters.
Lightning McQueen's rival, and he's unfortunately hot.
I know Mater, like Mater, but without.
That's crazy that you don't know any other Cars characters. I guess I work for Disneyland.
I think maybe it's crazier that you do know the Cars characters.
I guess I kind of worked at Disney, so it maybe makes sense.
Can you name any Avatar character besides Jake's Scully?
No.
That's how I feel about Cars.
But, like, Cars was, like, such a huge franchise. I guess so is Avatar.
So was Avatar.
Number one, like, solo movie ever.
They've got a whole Avatar world.
But that's in Florida. I've never been to Disney World. I will be going this year, though. That's pretty exciting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We, like, kind of talked about it a little bit.
But...
Damn. I feel like I'm bald with these headphones on. Oh, sorry, that has nothing to do with bald.
Which
My
of
hair's
these...
just like slicked back. Which one would I play?
Yeah, which of these would you want to be?
I would do Warlock, Sorcerer, Patron, just because that would scare you the most. And I'd make my character little and they'd hiss at you.
I love that.
You know what else I'd play with? My dick. And with that...
and with that...
and on that note, thanks for listening again, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.